Where do you start now with workout reserve? Now, what's your alternate solution for the user practitioner, what we do with Athletica?
I think that this solution was right there in front of our eyes, has always been there. If you're able to calculate the average during your session.
The average what?
The average of your intensity, whether it might be the power or the speed, you can know in real time how far you are from your best performance. So by using a simple mathematical tool, we could make it possible to calculate the different averages starting from time zero. Mm-hmm. So when you start exercising, all the averages are started to fluctuate. So you have your 30 seconds average, your 1 hour average, your 2 hour average. But of course, you start pedaling at 200 watts, like your warm up. And then you realize like the 30-second average all of a sudden goes to 200. The 1 hour average starts increasing a bit. Let's assume that there is a descent. So your power drops to zero. So your fast average, like the 30-second average, drops like very fast. But your hour average is still up there.
It holds.
Yes. And then you have another surge of power. This time you wanted to make like push very hard and you go to 500. So all of a sudden the 30-second average is starting like crazy going towards 500. And all the other averages, the longer averages, start to increase very slowly but steadily, very slowly but steadily. So what we just did with the power reserve, with the workout reserve, was to calculate the minimum distance between all the different averages with the historical maximum. That's what is the pretty much what we do. There is some spicy mathematical sauce we put here and there. It's not just like that, but the principle behind is that it is. And this is the way, in my opinion, you could estimate the distance between your current performance and your maximum performance on real time during a training session, provided you have a reliable maximal mean power curve. So whenever one of your averages goes beyond one of the historical averages, one of the two conditions must be true. Either you have never pushed that much so far, so you established a new record, or your power profile was not completed. So this is the most simple framework I think we can use to assess performance in post-process after a race, but with the Garmin application, you can use this principle also during a race or during a training session. I wish like some people would watch your videos on 30-second intervals that you did on velocity. That was a nice video to say. I think like the workout reserve in that is very indicative of how it works, because you can see like the workout reserve is very fast at the beginning of the training session because you are fresh. So yes, your recovery is very fast. But then when you get to the second or the third set, your recovery becomes like slower and slower. Yeah. So if you look at your graph, and I wish we could write a blog about that. At the very beginning, the recovery is much faster. So you can do like your bouts, you're fresh, and you can do that with very good quality. And then you go to the second set and to the third set. And between one bout and the other, the recovery over the workout reserve is much slower. You can really see that on the graph. So this is what we've been thinking. And as I like to say, sometimes models let you see the answer before the question. Mm-hmm. And I love that, because all these kind of explanations were just a consequence of the mathematical choices. Yeah. So it's nice that, at least in my mind, this is something that works, and it should work mathematically. It's not something that requires any physiological assumption on fatigue or like energy depletion. You just have like a power profile, and that you can use that to run the workout reserve. And then, of course, people are going to say you need to race in the same conditions for which you build your power profile. For example, you know very well that the power profile is changing with altitude. So you need to have realistically, you should have all the different points for all the different altitudes, or for all the different environmental conditions. That is not possible. Or for example, if you're racing time trials and you're racing on the road, you should have a power profile for the road and one power profile for the time trial. So there are nuances here and there, but I think this is a powerful tool that we can use, and we are leveraging it in Athletica, and I like that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's amazing. Just for the listeners, so they're clear, we're really looking at your power profile, and it could be, again, from 0 to infinity, and it is your historical, it's looking at your historical maximum. Where are you sitting relative to your historical maximum on around any duration of exercise? And that's pretty cool. And all to your points, I love how it changes across like a session, like a HIIT session, like a 30-30. We see the faster recovery of the workout reserve, which is different compared to my, in the first set, faster compared to my last set of 30-30s, which makes intuitive sense. I would expect that, right? I'm going to, the more work that I kind of do, I'm going to be more, tired around that, and recovery is going to be slower. So
yes.
yeah, it's to me a beautiful model.